Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we'll be talking about the flags. Okay, we talked about the flags before in the basic course. However, today we will have more information about the flags. We received a question concerning the telegrams. The question was simply, what should I know about the telegrams? It looks theory in all parts. What you need to know about the telegrams is mostly the things that we mentioned in our slides. In the PDF, you'll have more information. However, it's for your information, but you'll not need it. As you can see, we discussed telegrams in the basic course, and we discussed it last session in the advanced course, okay, with more information provided by KNX Association. And if you go, inshallah, for the tutor course, you'll get even more data about the telegrams. So in each course, KNX Association is providing more information, okay? We also need to know the source address, the destination address, the hub count, okay, which is all discussed in the basic course and also in our last session. You need to know how to troubleshoot the telegram using the bus monitor or the group monitor, and this is mostly what you need to do. About the exam questions, we'll discuss this in our online sessions about the exam questions, so you don't have to worry about that. So today we'll be talking about the telegrams, about the flags, okay? Flags, as you know, are mostly an online part, so you don't have practical part today. So mostly online part. And in the exam, we'll have 3 questions, and in our power questions or question banks, we have 61 questions. Okay. From the basic course, we learned something about the flags. What is a flag? A flag is a mark or a property for the group object. Group objects are the objects that we are normally putting into the group address to allow communication. So each group object represents something in the device of the KNX. So for an actuator to get an on or off, the on off itself is an object. Okay, the status of on off is another object. Okay, so each let's say movement or each action or each status represented by a group object. Okay, so flags are something that is describing a group object, depending on the flags set on the group object and determining how the group object will deal with the bus. So from the first slide from the basic course, we know that we have mostly 5 flags. It was communication, update, write, read, and transmit. And we said at this time that communication can be discovered as the master flag, because if the communication flag is not on, then the device is not communicating at all to the bus. So for me, the device is dead. Okay. Do I need to change any of the flags, by the way? No, normally I don't change any of the flags. Okay. In rare cases, I need to change it, maybe for troubleshooting, or maybe a manufacturer told me to change something. So maybe in some cases, I have a group address which I want to disable, but I don't want to delete. In this case, I can go to the group objects in the group address and get the communication flag off. This way, I know that this group address will not communicate with the bus. Okay. Or I have an issue and I communicated this issue with the manufacturer and he told me, or in the manual, it was specified that you need to check this flag or uncheck this flag. But normally, I'm not touching the flags. Okay. So we have the communication flag. Where can I change the flags, by the way? From ETS, you just go to the group objects from any of the views that give you a group object, okay, like building, like topology, and then you can change them. You can change them one by one, as you can see here. Or if you choose, select them by control, then you can change more group object together. Okay. The C flag is the master switch. Without the C flag, then there is no communication, and it's set by default. If it is not set, then no sending or receiving. Okay. In real configuration, I can remove it. Okay. And here, in case I remove the communication flag and I send a telegram or without that communication flag, in some manufacturer, the device will respond with an acknowledgement of okay. Okay. We said the acknowledgement last time in the telegram, and we said that if the telegram received correctly, then I get a positive acknowledgement. In some cases, yes, it will give you a positive acknowledgement to make sure that the bus is not resending the telegram again, because the system knows that you removed the communication flag. So the telegram is correct, but you intentionally don't want this group object to communicate. So if the bus send or the destination device send a negative acknowledgement, then the bus will resend the telegram again. In this case, the system knows that it is intended by you, so he will send a positive acknowledgement also to make sure that you are not sending the telegram again. Okay. Then you have the right flag. The flag here describes what will happen to the object. So if the object has a right flag, it means that I will be able to write values in this object. Okay, so let's say to that now I'm pressing a push button, and the push button is group object is in the same group address of a switching actuator, and the push button is intended to switch on or off the switching actuator. So I have in the same group address the group object of the switching actuator. In this case, the switching actuator group object will have the right flag on because I want to write data in the group object. I want to tell it go on or go off. Okay, so this is the case. So it should have the right flag on to allow me to write data in the group object. So by default, for all switch objects, for all actuators, okay, the right flag is on. Okay, so an actuator can only be switched if the right flag is set at its switch object. What else I need to change? Maybe the LED or the push button, because when I press the push button and I got a telegram, a feedback from the switch actuator that I'm on. I also want this LED to reflect the on or off status of the actuator. So also the status or the LEDs will also have the right flag on. Okay. So mostly this is the minimum for an actuator. It should have a communication flag on. Should be on anyway for any device. Also should have the right flag on. Okay. What else do I have? Do we have? We have also the transmit flag. Transmit flag meaning that device will start sending the data based on a change. So by default, I need it for sensors. If I have a sensor, a motion sensor, a door window sensor, I have a brightness sensor. I need whenever there is a change on the sensor status, it sends me again, transmits me again the new data. Okay. So if this on, then it can transmit changes. Okay. So by default for all sensors, it will be the transmit flag on. Okay. So for sensors, the minimum flags will be transmit and communication. Great. What else do we have? We have a flag called R, and in here it allows the device data to be read. Okay, so if I need to know the status now of a switch and I send a read telegram, okay, to get the status, if the red flag is not on, the device will not respond with EC data. Okay, so I should have for these cases, okay, the read flag on for some specific cases. Okay, if it's set in object, the bus device responds to a read request telegram with the response telegram to the sending group address. Is deleted, there is no response. It's set by default in most cases. Okay, and read flag you have to be a little bit careful in it. Okay, why? Here is describing you the data. I send a telegram asking for the status, then I got a response back using the sending group address. Okay. Why? Because the read flag should only be set at device which is to respond. So if I have a device that is the group object is not giving me data, then I shouldn't get the read flag on. Okay, because it only cause troubles in the bus because there is no data to give me. And if I have in the group address many devices, many group objects, only one should be set with the read flag on. Otherwise, I should make different group addresses. Why? Because if I ask the group address for a status and I have many devices with the read flag on, okay, then they will be sending me many status from the devices, and it will be some kind of a random or not expected. So the several response will not be expected. Okay. Then that was the read flag. Then we have the update flag. Update flag is a little bit old. Okay, it was famous in the system devices bus 1. Okay, but in bus 2 it's not there, and I can set it on or off, but normally we don't set it on. It mostly was there to compensate the lack of some other flags. Okay, so it contributed the receipt value of response telegram should be ignored or transferred to the group object. If it is set a response telegram of a read, if I send a read to an object, it's supposed to interpret as a write telegram. Okay. Device with CPC1 always change their object status. That was used mostly with the system bus devices 1, which is very old now, and we don't have them in the market. Okay. So update flag you can normally ignore, don't play with it, and normally don't need it. Then we have the initialization flag. I flag, initial flag is a flag that if you set, it means that when a bus failure takes place, okay, so the device was down, the KNX bus was cut, or the power was not there, device were down, and then the initiating, okay. The first start, we call it initialization phase. And if it is set, then the group object will start collect the data, getting its previous data from the other devices, okay. This is what we call the initiation one. So it automatic triggers read telegram to the sending group address after passport failure and recovery. By default, it's not on. Okay, we normally don't do it on, because if you put all devices on, it will cause a lot of traffic during the startup of the devices. Okay, normally even in the parameters of the devices, we go to most device will have a parameter in the device itself telling that uh, on starting, put some kind of delay. In this case, I tell the device, okay, put some kind of delay in the beginning of the startup automatically. Okay, so normally I don't also play with it, and this is the reason we have the I flag. Okay, so what I need to know about that flags, I don't need to change them in most cases, only unless I have some kind of troubleshooting or that manufacturer told me so. Also, I have the communication flag. This is a must. For actuators, I need to know that for actuators, I need to have the communication flag and the write flag. For sensors, I need to have the communication flag and the transmit flag. Okay? This is mostly what I need to know about the flags, and we don't play with them. If you have any question, let us know, and I will see you, inshallah, Rabbil Alameen, in the next video. Salam